Hi, I'm Chris, and today we're looking at the Ride 15 from Saucony. I'm going to do the review slightly different to other YouTubers out there, because to be honest, when I look at these reviews, I don't really care what the foam's made out of. I just want to know what it's like to run in. Honestly, off the bat, I've been a little disappointed in the shoe, but I'll get into that in this video. And also I'll be telling you how my training's going for the Brighton Marathon coming up at the beginning of April. So I was looking for a daily trainer to put some miles in training for the Brighton Marathon. And I got on really well with this Saucony Pro 2, which is my first Saucony shoe. And it's almost like that shoe's tailor-made for me. So I was always looking to get another Saucony shoe. I had a budget of around about £80 and I would like to have got the Speed 2, but obviously that didn't fit within that budget. So I managed to find this colourway. Sportshoes.com were selling it for £69.99 plus postage, which was 75 quid, so it fitted really nice in the budget. Mixed reviews, some people really love it and then some people have some kind of negative thoughts towards it, and so I thought it was worth the risk considering that I liked the Endorphin Pro. What was it like on foot first of all? Well, one thing that really surprised me was actually the weight of the shoe. In a size 9 this comes in at 238 grams, and in a size 11 comes in at 282 grams, which if we was kind of think about my Endorphin Pro 2, which is a race shoe, that comes in at just over 250. So very light on foot, kind of a slipper kind of like feel, because the kind of tongue kind of loops round into this area. Very comfortable, very plush, with just the right amount of cushioning, and then it's got this massive kind of thick inner sole in there that just adds to the kind of cushioning in the shoe. Initially walking around, very comfortable. So how was the first run? I've only done a few runs in this shoe, and some of you might say, okay, how can you review the shoe with just a few runs in it? Well, the thing I don't like about it isn't going to change. So that's why I'm just giving this honest review. When I look for a daily trainer, I'm looking for kind of a medium comfort on the kind of softness of the sole and obviously the look of the shoe, but I don't like a lot of road feel. How was this? Well, cushioning from the back, it's quite hard towards the back area. I think that depends on how you strike. I'm a bit of a heel striker, so I can kind of feel this kind of arch bit when I run. The middle section is perfect, but then as we go towards the front, it just gets less and less until, unfortunately, I can feel a bit of road feel. I know some people like road feel. For me, I don't like it. And what I normally do is change the inner sole out, but the inner sole in there is a pretty thick inner sole. So for me, there's just about enough cushioning on the kind of road feel, but I would have liked a lot more. And for that is why I honestly feel it's a little bit disappointing. I was thinking that it was going to have a lot more cushioning because it's got a reasonable amount of rubber there and cushioning. And also another thing that's kind of let it down is if the paths are a little bit kind of damp, the grip's not very good and it's quite slippery. So at the moment, this is a shoe that I'm only about to run if the roads are dry, because you know a lot of paths are tarmac these days, and especially if you have to kind of get onto the road, it can be very slippery. Grip wise, other than that, you can take it on kind of a very light kind of trail, and when it's dry, no problems whatsoever. You're going to get quite a lot of miles out of this. I've seen YouTubers saying they're going to get between kind of 500-600 miles, which I can believe. Stability is good because of obviously the flare coming out from the sole, so had no problems there. You know, the rest of it, I don't having any problems with kind of hot spots. Fits true to size. I'm a size 11 and there's plenty of room, and there's enough room for kind of your toes to spare. It's going to splay out. Where does this fit kind of pace wise? Well, for me, obviously I've paid the money for the shoe, so I can't send it back because obviously I've used it. So I will continue wearing the shoe, but it's just not to my kind of like, because I just say I don't like road feel. So works best for me obviously if I'm not up on my toes, because as I say, you can feel the road the further you get forward, and so this will fit kind of my very easy to easy pace runs to just get some miles in. As I say, love the look of the shoe, love the way it feels on foot, but just that road feel, and obviously in slippery, you know, well, not even slippery, when the road's a little bit damp, you kind of tend to slip. So unfortunately, A little bit disappointed with the Saucony Ride 15. Let me know down in the comments what you think of this shoe. So how's training gone? Well, as you know, I'm training for the Brighton Marathon. The last 3 weeks haven't gone well. Groin strain while playing football at school. Obviously not playing for 20 years. It was obviously going to happen sooner or later, wasn't it? And then picked up a cold, which I don't know if it's kind of a byproduct of COVID, because it had the same symptoms of the kind of sore throat and then this kind of real bunged up nasal area, but come back, you know, negative on the tests. And so after 3 weeks, not much mileage. When I film this Saturday, I'm at about 26 miles, so hoping to go for a 10-mile run tomorrow. So end up on about 36 miles for the week. Today, went down to Park Run and was planning to just run a sub 20 just to see where my fitness is at and how that felt. But when I got there was some pacing going on, and the race director asked if I'd pace kind of Bertie, who's just turned 11, now he can run on his own, and he wanted to go for a sub 21. So I was the 21-minute pacer. The course, as I found out, is slightly long at 3.13 kilometers, which is about 20 meters long, but he managed to get a PB, which is awesome. As you see, I've adjusted the time on Strava, so I did actually come in below that for the 5k, because I was running obviously by my watch and just running the kind of set paces. So I'm down there pacing again towards the end of February for sub 20. So training's been going all right. My breathing's okay. Slowly need to kind of build myself up to the kind of longer miles, because I was up to about 15 miles. So I need to kind of build myself up slowly to 15, and then maybe try and get a 20 miler in before then. So training's going great. So I'm running for breast cancer now, as you know, at the Brighton Marathon. So if you want to give, I'll put a link down in the comments, because it costs £250 a day for one researcher to obviously research about, you know, breast cancer and trying to find that cure. So I'm not asking you to give a big amount if you can, you know, any amount, you know, even the cost of a coffee, it all adds up and it all helps. So hope your training's been going well. I'm gonna leave the video there, and there's only one way up from here, and that's onwards and upwards. Speak to you soon. Cheers.